The Tiger Team is going patriotic in the lead up to the 4th of July. Therefore, it seems fitting to do a series of videos which are 3 parts: history, geography, and hot guys that explain how these United States of America were formed. Today, we're starting with New England. Here we are on the northeastern coast of the United States. In the 1600s, different European countries got in boats which stopped here. Because that's what land does. It stops boats. And they stole different parts of this new land, new to them anyways, from the native tribes who considered it, just land on which they were living. But Europeans be all,
it's now mine.
One of these countries was England, who formed multiple colonies which together created New England.
What's the deal with New England anyway?
There were 4 states, which are now essentially 6 states, you'll see what I mean in a second, that formed this area. Puritans from England, who were statistically, and this is true, 0% fun,
New England. Oh, that's real creative.
took over this little boot region called Massachusetts. And it took about 360 years for the fun gauge to reach 100% when Marky Mark and the Funky Bunch was founded there. Because the Puritans were lame and also power-hungry assholes who quickly turned Massachusetts into an oligarchy, some groups were like, fuck right off, and they went just a little bit south. Roger Williams was one of those guys, and so he created Rhode Island. This dude had radical ideas like religious freedom and the separation of church and state. It's like the radical idea to create a musical about Los Angeles with Ryan Gosling and Emma Stone, who fall in love and then out of love, and spoiler alert, maybe they break up in that movie if you haven't seen it. I don't know, you probably aren't going to start now, right? So, it. But anyways, radical ideas are exactly what our guy, Damien, did by directing La La Land. He's the youngest Oscar-winning director ever, and he's pretty cute. Listen, Rhode Island is small, and so it's slim pickings. Okay, let's move on. Next to the island, which isn't an island at all, is Connecticut. Now, this was also founded by people who found Massachusetts Bay Colony lame as fuck. The face of Connecticut that we picked is Seth MacFarlane. Because, 1, he's funny, and funny guys are hot, according to ladies, right? And 2, he's got a great voice.
Noticing the days hurrying by, when you're in love, how they fly through the days.
And 3, we used his shit earlier for a laugh, so it feels kind of fitting that we should give him a compliment that you're hot, so, hopefully we don't get in trouble. And 4, he's a descendant of William Brewster.
How is that relevant?
An original founder of the Plymouth colony, which was absorbed by the Massachusetts Bay Colony. So, the question is, was Seth's great-great-great-something grandfather part of the aforementioned assholes that led people away from Massachusetts to create the state of Connecticut in which his ancestor would one day live and create funny little animations? But I do know that he has this series of islands named after him. Pretty cool, I guess. And the final official state that was part of New England is New Hampshire, thus named because the English merchant John Mason was basically the first person who had to name it something, and so he lacked the creativity that we've now all come to expect from these dudes, and so therefore named it New Hampshire after Hampshire, England, the county which he was from. There was a lot of debate on who to select for our hottie from New Hampshire. And again, pickings be slim. But one of our Tiger Team, the youngest, little tiger cub, we call her, is a massive video game fan. Some might call her a dork. I wouldn't dare, but some people might. And apparently there's this guy named Ludwig, and he has recently bloomed into a good-looking dude. He does the twitching, and the rest of us don't really know what any of it means or get it, but we are supportive of our little tiger cubs. And so even though Ludwig is in his late 20s, which technically breaks the rules of over 30 hot guys, we're going to give this one to her and thus to him. Okay. So, if you Google New England, the internet will tell you that Maine and Vermont are also part of New England, which is kind of true, but kind of not. Maine and Vermont did not exist when New England was formed. The land now within those borders was technically part of Massachusetts, New Hampshire, or owned by the French. For the sake of ease, so we don't have to come back and do this part of the states again, we'll just include them in this video. So Vermont's hottie is obviously Bernie Sanders. Shit, Bernie's not actually from Vermont. So I guess we'll go with Damon Wayans Jr., not to be confused with Damon Wayans Sr. And finally, Land of the Lobsters, Maine. We started with the hottest of the hotties, in my opinion, Mark Wahlberg. And we're ending with McDreamy, Patrick Dempsey. Okay, that covers the hottest guys in the 6 most northeastern states. Subscribe to get alerted when we post the rest of the country videos leading up to the 4th. And let's get patriotic, bitches.